This is Christopher Moldong of Chris's Storytelling Corner. Today I'm going to do a manga review for Skip Beat Volumes 21 and 22. Next time I'll have a manga review for Skip Beat Volumes 23 and 24, a reading of my fantasy short story, The Witch's Origin, and in a few weeks, a movie review for Deadpool 2. Check out my Twitter page and author's Facebook page. Links to all these will be provided on the description. I'd also really like to hear from you guys as well, especially if you're readers of this manga, Skip Beat. So please leave any comments and let's have a discussion about the series and just how wacky it is. And also make sure to subscribe and share this channel as well. So the way that this is going to work is I'm going to do a recap of Volume 21 and then give my thoughts on it, and do the same for Volume 22. So here is my recap for Volume 21. The volume begins on December 26th with Kyoko admiring all of her presents. Her rose she got from Ren needs a new vase, and it turns out that Kyoko is late for work due to her just idling about and looking at her presents. We're shown the script reading for Box R, and some cast members comment on Kyoko being late. We're introduced to Miss Amamiya, who appears nice but then gives an angered look when no one's looking. Ren and Yashiro see Kyoko in utter despair. I think they're in the Dark Moon set now. Ogata tells them that Kyoko has been like that all day and doesn't know why. Ogata doesn't know why. Ren goes up to Kyoko and talks with her, and she's apparently depressed because she was late for the script meeting for her new drama, Boxar, and made everyone wait for an hour. Ren asks what else, and Kyoko says that's all. Ren tells her that she should just forget it and switch modes so that she can work here. Kyoko is confused and expected Ren to be angry, but Ren says that if he were to get angry, it would be because she brought the issue to her next job and caused trouble here. We're shown a flashback where Kyoko is speaking with Uncle Tora and Ren. Tora asks what she'd like to achieve in showbiz, and she tells him that she'd like to achieve myself. Ren tells Kyoko that showbiz is a harsh place. She gets depressed easily. She tends to keep worrying about things. Someone like that will never be first class. If she can't switch modes and can't act her part, then get permission to take today off. The set doesn't need actors who can't act. Ouch, Ren. Jeez. Ren walks away and Yashiro tells him that he's being too harsh. Later, Kyoko thanks Ren for scolding her, which made her switch modes. Apparently, the director of Box R did not scold her at all. She was uncomfortable and felt like someone should cut her down in one stroke. Kyoko reveals that Ren cut her down in an unexpected way. Ren and Yashiro leave, and Kyoko tells them that she wants to go shopping. They go to the store, and Kyoko gets a gaudy vase for the rose that Ren gave her for her birthday. Ren reveals that the rose is not a king, but a queen called Queen Rosa. Ren tells her the fairy tale like story of Queen Rosa and how the rose grew from where the queen in the story died. Kyoko gets intrigued by the story, and on the ride home, Yashiro asks what Ren is up to. Ren says that Miss Mogami will have calmed down by now. Kyoko goes home and sees the Queen Rosa tipped out of her container. She finds a tear-shaped crystal that dropped out of the Queen Rosa, and the next day at work, Kyoko excitedly thanks Mr. Shiruga. Yashiro thinks that Ren set this all up. Kyoko has a dream where she's this miracle actress. She talks to a Ren doll and scolds herself for dreaming about being this miracle actress, and the real Ren comes in. Kyoko apologizes, and Ren asks why she's apologizing. Ren says that Miss Mogami considers him to be a pretty mean character, and that makes him feel a bit sad. Honestly, he is a pretty mean character sometimes. Kyoko tells him that he scolds her for things she does wrong, and Ren always leads her to the correct path. Elsewhere, Yashiro talks with Mr. Matsushima. Yashiro whispers to him the double world where he's a mysterious actor X playing the killer BJ. Talking about Ren is going to be the actor. It's revealed that Ren doesn't have to be on the set until the end of next month because X is a mysterious guy. So back with Kyoko, Kyoko tells Ren that she's not satisfied with this Natsu at all as Ren looks through the script for Box R. Ren tells her to just act her the way she is. Someone calls Kyoko and tells her to come over. Ren suddenly asks Yashiro if they should go too, which comes as a surprise to Yashiro and Kyoko. Before they leave, Ren tells Kyoko that the answer is surprisingly close to her. Back at home, Kyoko remembers what Ren told her and has an epiphany. She wonders if maybe an ordinary girl is good enough for Natsu. She decides to live in her acting as Natsu, and the next day, Kyoko gets ready to play Bo. One of the backstage hands tells Kyoko that the one who sells is the winner in acting and entertainment, really. Bo comes to get a famous actress, Honoka Otomo, in the green room. She realizes that she's a fashion icon and a popular model. Chiori Amamiya, Miss Amamiya, her name's Chiori, and her manager leave a job. In the car, she writes hateful things in a notebook. Kyoko prepares for a role for Natsu but struggles to wear makeup. And it turns out she doesn't wear any of it and only wears and carries things that were on sale. Her only luxury were her shoes. On the set, they have to do a fifth retake even though all they're doing is standing around. The, the director tells Kyoko that in an ordinary scene like this, she doesn't have to be Mio. However, she's not trying to be Mio. The director stops the scene and tells everyone to take a 15-minute break, and her co actresses insult Kyoko in her acting. The director and his assistant talk with Kyoko, and he tells her that she has to switch modes. The assistant asks Kyoko to say thank you very much and bow. She does it, and the assistant points out that she bows like an etiquette instructor. They notice that Kyoko even stands differently than ordinary girls, and the director tells Kyoko that she has to blend in with the other girls there. She tries to act more relaxed but fails miserably. The director says that they'll shoot the scenes that Kyoko can do best, and Kyoko's co-stars complain about her even though she's sitting right next to them. Kyoko tries to apologize, and one of her co-stars says that there's a real big fly, implying that it's Kyoko. The girls leave. eh, All the girls leave except for Kyoko in the room. Kyoko remembers that a former classmate did the same thing to her, and Kyoko gets angry. And then Kyoko does a scene, but the director calls cut. He tells her something, but Kyoko says that this isn't right. He tells her that he wants Mio, so she shuts up and does it. He asks if she'll do what little acting she can do without retakes. Kyoko apologizes and asks if she can do it one more time. She does the scene and acts like Mio does it right. Her two co-stars aren't happy with how Kyoko was acting, as Natsu should be their leader, not be some scary girl like Mio. Kyoko apologizes to Chiori. Chiori whispers to Kyoko that she agrees with her. Chiori tells Kyoko that actors must sometimes fight with directors to protect a role. And then Chiori talks with the director and tells him that Kyoko's not happy with the Natsu that he's asking for. She tells the director that for an actor, what a director says is absolute. So she apparently told her to obey him. Chiori tells the director that Kyoko might change her characterization of Natsu again, and the director says that he'll crush her worthless pride before she gets out of hand. Kyoko questions if she has love for Natsu. She then notices in the mirror that she's still standing like a waitress in a Japanese inn. She remembers Honoka and tries to copy the way she was standing, but she can't do it. She gets out her Mr. Suruga doll and has an idea when she looks at it. We see Ren talking to Yashiro on the phone while Ren is driving, so we're kind of like later in the day. Um, Kyoko apparently asks Yashiro when Ren's day will be over. And at the end of the volume, Kyoko is waiting for Ren, and Ren comments that she's acting as if nothing has happened. So, some thoughts. I guess we're into the new story arc here with Box R and her playing Natsu. And Kyoko obviously has a problem playing Natsu because she doesn't want to be too Mio, and at times that she's being too showing too much etiquette, it's wrong. So she's having a really hard time with this. She can't even stand because Natsu's a normal girl, whereas Mio was more high class, more elegant, high class, better etiquette. And Kyoko obviously has a hard time, playing Natsu and being an ordinary girl. So, you know, it's kind of nice because with Kyoko, we know she's this great actress, and it keeps being told to us and shown to us. But like, it's nice to see her kind of fail. It's nice to just see her fail and see how she overcomes this. Kyoko's co-stars aren't very nice. Um, Chiori seems to be quite the two-faced character, hateful, and whatnot in secret, nice in person. So she puts on the facade. Her other two co-stars don't respect her, so that's another obstacle that Kyoko's gonna have to overcome. It. She always has to do this with her co-stars too. It's like she always has to convince her co-stars that she's good and worthy of a role, and it's always like an uphill battle. We'll see if they start to accept her. The Queen Rosa is kind of interesting. Um, the little gem or whatever stone fell out of the Queen Rosa. Ren, obviously likes Kyoko. And he knew, I mean, you have to think that he knew that she'd be totally entranced with the Queen Rosa, the flower, and then the stone that came out of it. And you can't help but think this is all planned. It's really interesting though because Ren and Kyoko's relationship. I mean, it's so weird because there's a business relationship of just like, when she's being burdensome, Ren gets into full business mode. He really is a true actor. But like personally speaking, it looks like he really likes her. But at the same time, he can be pretty harsher too when it comes to acting. So there's really that duality there of just like on the set business Ren versus like outside of the set, outside of work Ren, and how those two versions of Ren treat Kyoko. Kyoko just kind of takes it. Eventually, I kind of want to just see Kyoko just say like, like screw you, Ren. You know what I mean? Like, screw you, Mr. Suruga. That'd be like the funniest. That'd be really funny. Um, that'd be really funny, but we're obviously not at that point. We're actually at the opposite, where she's going to Ren for advice and whatnot, and for help, and that advances their own relationship as well. But it's usually work related. It's not personal related. So Kyoko at the end of volume went to Ren, but then we're just like, I have to assume it's more work related than anything else. So, before we get into the next volume, I'd like to plug my author's website at www.chrismaldon.com, and you can read a new blog post on there every week. Also, do you like anime and manga? Do you like action, adventure, fantasy, crazy, zany characters, different worlds? Then buy my book, The Mustard Prince in the Condiment Kingdom, for just $4.99 via ebook on Amazon.com or on my author's website. Links to buy it will be provided under this page description. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well. So let's get to volume 22. The volume begins with Kyoko waiting for Ren, but she's shivering cold. Ren lets her into his home, and Kyoko pleads with Ren to teach her how to talk and stand like a model. Ren asks Kyoko if she wants to be like a runway model or a magazine model, and he tells her that male and female models behave differently. Kyoko convinces Ren to teach her nonetheless, as he felt like he's been challenged. She does training that comes off as just making fun of her, so he has to do really funny poses and whatnot. They then do serious training all night with very little sleep. Uh, the next day, Ren says that once she's interested in a role, she takes off real fast. She's scary once she wakes up. We see Chiori. She writes in her diary and has mean things to write about Kyoko. Outside, Chiori's manager, Miss Yoshimoto, talks with Chiori's mom about the drama attracting attention. Chiori's mom is pleased, but Chiori tells her not to get too excited. In the car, Chiori hopes that Kyoko plays a Natsu that goes against the director's wishes and gets knocked down so completely that she loses her confidence and her job. We're shown a scene where the wind takes away a co-star's hat, so this is now we're back to Kyoko. Presumably, Kyoko, as Natsu, grabs it and hands it back to her in a cool way. On the set, two of Kyoko's co-stars have to distribute the costumes, even though they don't want to. One of them takes Natsu's bow tie, that's part of her costume, so she just takes it out of the costume. Kyoko comes to the dressing room as Natsu and totally surprises her two co-stars with how different she is. So I'll just refer to Kyoko as Natsu when she's Natsu now. Alone, Natsu seems to realize that her bow tie is gone. The co-star whose hat was saved by Natsu tells Chiori about how Kyoko has changed. And it's pretty much Natsu now. Elsewhere, Yashiro tells Ren that Kyoko borrowed clothes from LME for Natsu. She also made a necklace from the Queen Rosa. In the morning meeting with the director, everyone is surprised to see Kyoko as Natsu, and Natsu mentions that she couldn't find her bow tie with her costume. The director asked the wardrobe person about it. She asked the co-star Miss Makino about it. She seems to be like the main co-star. Like that's kind of bullying too. Miss Makino says that she doesn't remember, and then suggests that maybe Natsu lost it herself. Natsu then gives Miss Makino a type of smile that scares her and Chiori. Natsu then goes up to Miss Makino and rips off her bow tie from her outfit that she's wearing. Natsu asks the director if this will work, and she'll have Kiori, who's Miss Makino, help look for the bow tie. The director says no. However, Natsu and her three friends slash co-stars are all shown without their bow ties, but the director comments that Chiori looks out of place now. As it turns out, the director did approve. The director asked Chiori to change her vibe to blend in with the other three. Natsu's co-star Kaori asks why she didn't tell her on her to the director. Natsu tells her that she can't let other people solve their problems and tell her that she's her friend. Natsu wants to know what Kiori's thinking in her own words. Backstage, Chiori gets everyone and doesn't know what the gets mad at everyone and doesn't know what the director means when he gave her advice. She will not forgive Kyoko. Natsu finds the name sign to her dressing room all torn up and on the floor. She doesn't know who did it and doesn't seem to care. She then tells her two co-stars, one of them being Kiori, that she wants to eat at a ramen stand even though it's really cold, and Kiori agrees. Chiori then has her hair cut shorter, and Chiori tries to tear Kyoko's name sign again, but behind it is a note to be more creative next time and that she's really looking forward to it. So Natsu's really looking forward to how creative she's going to be and whatnot, and trying to ruin her. On the set, the director is down because Chiori cut her hair. He wanted her to change, but not her looks. He tells Chiori that Kyoko has another regular job besides Dark Moon. The director suggests that they give Chiori an updo, but she strongly refuses. Natsu's co-stars tell her something that they heard about Chiori. At her other job at TBM, Kyoko is on a cart getting pushed by the Bridge Rock guys. Kyoko was wobbly, and Bridge Rock is concerned. She's wobbly because she's not used to standing in the way that she is. She's standing like a model, playing when she's playing Natsu. One of them talks about a show called The Scarlet Dice. A 6-year-old actress playing Akari got burned but was still acting. It's revealed that Chiori's got a big scar from a burn on the back of her neck. We're shown Chiori, who's at Japanet Scope, and she just found out that Kyoko's already been on that show. She's told that she's starting to sell like Kyoko did. In the dressing room, Chiori is not happy. Back with Kyoko, she asked the name of the actress who played Akari in This Scarlet Dice. She saw that it's Akari Tendo, but no one's heard from her at all now. Akari Tendo, or is it Akari? I think it's Akari. Akari had trouble playing other roles other than Akari after, I'll say Akari actually, Akari after the Scarlet Dice and got fewer job offers. Rock starts to hear strange noises, and Kyoko looks nervous. Back with Chiori, she writes angry stuff alone at a in her on pieces of paper at a staircase. The leader of Bridge Rock and Kyoko go to get food, as the strange noise was Kyoko's stomach growling. He offers her food when they get it, but she won't eat it and tells him about her new role and tells her that she wants to lose a little more weight. Kyoko goes to buy drinks from a vending machine and Chiori sees her. I guess they're in the same studio or building. Chiori follows her until they reach the top of a staircase. Chiori throws her coat at Kyoko so she can't see and pushes her down the stairs. At the end of the volume, Kyoko manages to turn around as she's falling, and she sees that it's Chiori who pushed her. So, some thoughts on the volume. We see that Ren was training Kyoko. Ren's got to be pleased. He takes acting really seriously, and I think that, he's probably pleased that Kyoko took it seriously too. Romantically speaking, though, there's not much progression here. It really is just more with Natsu. Um, Speaking of Natsu, right now, she's got to be my favorite character. It's very interesting how they made Skip Beat and had Kyoko when she plays a different character to just pretty much be that character. Like she was Mio, for example, and you kind of think of her not as Kyoko, but as the character that she's playing. They would go with, I think this is method acting, but I actually read up on method acting, and this is like the false idea of what method acting is. I think there's another name for it, where it's like you're pretty much playing a role inside on the set and outside the set as well. And it really seems like Skip Beat really goes with this style of acting. It's interesting and it makes sense to or training slash acting. It makes sense. It wouldn't be interesting if you're just seeing Natsu like on the set. Like it's really interesting to see Natsu outside in the world outside of Box R or Mio in the world outside of Dark Moon. So like I understand why the creator kind of went this direction as far as like this training slash acting style. It works, for this book. I imagine we'll probably see. Have we seen it for Ren yet? I imagine we'll probably see it for Ren. We've seen it for Kyoko with a lot of characters up to this point. Chiori. Wow, she's not a nice character, and she seems. It looks like Natsu has won over other co-stars, especially Kaori, but she has not won over Chiori. Chiori seems to just hate Kyoko. Her plan backfired. Jabbing that scope, she's there. She's gonna be a hot new thing, and it turns out Kyoko's already done it. And she's just writing angry stuff, and now she's getting violent. I mean, it was one thing she was hiding it, but now she's pushing Kyoko down the stairs. Um, I always say this about Skip Beat, but it's the truth. Skip Beat is full of terrible people. I mean, we don't see too many characters get this violent, physically violent. This is one of the we saw. I think we saw Sho slapping Kyoko at one point. Ren hasn't gotten physically violent yet. Chiori already has gotten physically violent. It's kind of like, what a terrible person. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, well, I saw her. She pushed me down the stairs to hurt me, if not kill me. I mean, if you push someone down the stairs, you can potentially kill the person. I mean, if they hit their head or something like that, or break something at least. And now it's like, if you actually really think about it, it's like, I'm supposed to act with this person now too. This is not good. Kyoko saw her though. It's gonna be interesting. It looks like Kyoko changed modes into Natsu, just the way that her expression was. You have to kind of assume she did. So that's going to be kind of interesting too. How are Chiori and Natsu presumably going to act going forward? Can, assuming that Kyoko doesn't call the police, you know, for this woman trying to, getting physical with her and trying to injure her in a bad way. know, Obviously, you got to suspend your disbelief here. I don't think Kyoko's gonna call the police on Chiori, but I guess we'll see. I'm very interested to see how Natsu is played going forward and whatnot. It looks like she's gotten something of a handle of it now, and now we gotta, Kyoko's got seemingly has gotten, through to her co-stars except for Chiori. Even the director, you have to assume, is kind of warming up to this Natsu. We'll see how that goes, but the person she needs to really convince now is Chiori. So that's all for today. If you like this, don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment to this channel. Thank you for listening to this manga review. Next time, I'll have a manga review for Skip Beat Volumes 23 and 24, a reading of my short story, The Witch's Origin, and in a few weeks, a movie review for Deadpool 2. Thank you, and until next time.